Radio has long been the most compact, portable, movable source for information, music, and opinion, keeping us informed and entertained virtually anywhere we go. But in an age of accessibility, radio has had major challenges. A strategic partnership between NPR Labs and Towson University aims to change all of that.
NPR is interested in this because that's part of our DNA. NPR grew out of the Public Broadcasting Act of 1967, and part of the guiding premise of that act was service to the unserved and the underserved.
Towson University and NPR Labs formed a partnership about 4 years ago to explore the possibilities of making radio more accessible for the deaf, in particular by providing radio captioning.
ICART, the International Center for Accessible Radio Technology, was formed between Towson and NPR so that we could include everyone that has a disability, a hearing loss or a vision loss, into our world of media.
One of the things that will motivate people around this subject very quickly is thinking about the Hurricane Katrina situation, in which people who were deaf or hard of hearing had virtually no way to get information. They couldn't listen to the radio.
But while new technologies in digital radio have opened the door to accessibility, the challenge is making this technology both accurate and affordable. Traditional TV captioning relies on the use of stenographic transcribers.
Very specialized process, very specialized equipment. Takes a long time to be trained on that, and naturally as a result the costs are not insubstantial. So we took a look around and said, what else is being done with new digital technologies that are reshaping the whole landscape of the globe, and discovered something called voice writing.
National Public Radio sends a program feed to Towson University. The audio is then fed to a voice writer who's listening on headphones and continually re-speaking everything that they hear.
The output of the re-speaker is then fed to the caption editor. They listen to it and they're cleaning it up live real time. At the same time that we're doing the live captions that go out to the deaf users, we're also feeding it over to a transcription editor who's making the letter-perfect copy of it that'll be posted to the web later. So all in all, that's a very efficient process that we've really not seen done anywhere else before, and it can improve turnaround time as well as lower the cost of the overall process.
Those involved in the project have been interested as well in turning that digital signal for the captioning into something that could produce a Braille output, so that it would serve the blind in the same way, or the deaf-blind in particular, who may not have access either to hearing or seeing the captions, but would be able to receive the same information through a Braille output.
Aninda Bhattacharya, known as Boppin, is just such a person. Boppin is both deaf and blind. He talks about being able to access the 2012 presidential debates on Braille radio.
It was wonderful for me to have access to those debates because it was very important to me to know what was going on so that I could make an informed decision. I did become a U.S. citizen and am now eligible to vote for the first time. And so I wanted to have complete information so that I could make my own decision. I wanted to know what the issues were and what the candidates were supporting.
We see this as a growing movement that will eventually mean that anytime there's audio, there will be an expectation that it's readable audio provided as well.
It's cool to know that people who have never heard the radio and people who have heard it once but can't anymore, it's really cool to know that we can provide it for them. It's just cool to include people.
So this is really an exciting time. When you can have that kind of impact, what greater privilege is there than creating a technology like this?
NPR Labs and Towson University, a partnership in providing equal access to information and technology.